All right, welcome guys. We're here today to talk about a really special project that Jake and I and a bunch of other guys at Tackle Warehouse have been working on, and that's the Abu Garcia Zata Tact-Z. I'm Joey with Tackle Warehouse, and joining me here today is Jake from TW and Morgan representing Heroes on the Water today, our special partner with this reel project. Welcome.
No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome. Well, before we get in the reel, can we get a little backstory on you guys? Morgan, let's start with you.
Oh, sure. So my official capacity, I serve as the San Luis Obispo County Veteran Services Officer. We support our community with providing benefits and assistance to veterans and their families. In my spare time, I am a guide with Heroes on the Water. It's a sport that sport fishing is something that I've done for quite some time, and it's something that I get to now pay back and pay forward to my brothers and sisters out there. I served in the Army for 12 and a half years, deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. I was a 19 Delta Cavalry Scout originally, then commissioned, became an officer, and took my scout platoon, reconnaissance, surveillance, and target acquisition platoon to Afghanistan in 2009, 2010. I got hurt there. I hit it for a few years, got done with my company command time and asked them to look at my injury, and that got me a medical retirement out of the Army. So it was a very abrupt end to a long career.
All right. And as you said, now you're working for the county of San Luis Obispo here.
I am.
And continuing to serve the veteran community.
We serve those who served us. It's next to taking soldiers to combat, bring them back home alive. This is the best job I've ever had.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And Jake, everybody knows you as the What's New at TW guy. You do a lot of other stuff here. Tell us a little bit about your background too.
Yeah, I mean, before working here at Tackle Warehouse, I was in the military as well. I joined the Army right out of high school and served 5 years in the Army. I was a combat medic, and I was actually me and Morgan were talking before we came on. I was actually a combat medic for a Cav Scout unit. So we kind of had some similar stories.
A little bit of kismet there, yeah.
Yeah. So combat medic for Cav Scout unit. I deployed to Iraq twice, and then got out of the Army. And after about 5 years, moved here to go to college and started working here. I've been here ever since.
Well, thanks for the background, guys, and thank you guys both for your service. We are here though to talk about this reel, right? And part of this reel is supporting those great communities of vets and first responders. But first, let's dive into the reel. Jake, you want to grab that thing and tell us a little bit about the Abu Garcia Zata Tact-Z, right?
I mean, it's Abu Garcia Zata Tact-Z, and this is actually built on that Zeta 2 platform that has just been released from Abu Garcia. So it's a phenomenal reel, and we started this project. It's kind of a Corey idea when he came in all fired up about, he gets all fired up about guns. And specifically, he was looking at some new SIG pistols and the SCAR. And he's like, we got to do a reel that is kind of in that same vein, with the trend, especially in the firearm industry, everyone going to these, producing a lot of FDE and Desert Tan and more combat style firearms, or at least cosmetically. That we wanted to build a reel that, the people that fish, veterans, just people who are firearms enthusiasts, hunters, would all, they would think, hey, that's a pretty cool reel.
Sure.
And so we kind of went with that cosmetics and kind of wanted to run with it. And then we started playing with all kinds of other stuff. And we went through many makeups of the design of trying to get the colors just right of what we wanted. And, with a lot of those, when they try to apply those colors to different materials, steel versus, plastic and aluminum and just different parts, they always have kind of a transition of colors. They're not all exactly the same. So we kind of wanted to have those tones where the colors kind of broke up a little bit. We didn't want just a big giant brown glob of a reel.
Right.
And then, we wanted to add some black in there to really give it that really combat style, tactical look to it. Because when these wars started, everyone was in woodland camo, and then so there was a lot of rattle cannon going on.
That's right.
And that's how that's where a lot of that stuff spurred. You saw a lot of firearms and rifles that were getting rattle can tanned, and trucks and all that stuff. But a few other things we did. We beefed up the handle on it. That was important to us. We wanted that bigger handle, more aggressive knobs on there, more power to it. And I really didn't notice it till 2 nights ago. I was spooling mine up, and just I'm spooling up 4 different brands of reels, and I got to crank it on this thing. I was like, whoa, this got a lot of power, and just a lot to grab onto on that knob. And we did, a couple other small things, like we did that little ammunition inspired spool tension knob, and we put the gear ratio on there. We asked for some special gear ratios that we couldn't get. Like if we can get it in 2, Joey, if we can get 7, 6, 2, 5, 5, 6, that'd be really cool. But we made many requests.
Abu Garcia wasn't going to create a new gearing system.
Retool their factory.
Yeah. So I mean, we asked for a lot, and we're stoked that Abu, built this for us. But we asked for the moon on that one.
Sure. But for us, I think for you and me, it was a real education in like what goes into designing a reel.
Oh, totally.
Because I think our first concept, we're like, we want FDE and we want OG green and like just go make it, right?
Yeah.
And it was a little more complicated.
Aesthetically, I mean, you guys, as the consumer here, I'll tell you that you guys knocked this reel out of the park. It's an awesome reel for one thing, but aesthetically and the thought that went into it, I mean, I hate to date myself, but it's pretty rad. I mean, it's slick and it's super buttery smooth. I've had it for a week and it's spooled up. It's got 20 pounds of braid, 12 pounds of fluoro backing it. I'm an ocean guy, so I mean, I'll go out on the lakes and play around sometimes, but I'm gonna work this inshore, I think, and go after, when I head down south, go after spotted bay bass and stuff like that. But I'm really excited to try it. I first picked up my first Abu Garcia in like 2007, and it was my salmon reel up when I was stationed up in Washington, and that thing was a workhorse. And so I'm really excited to get a new reel from Abu Garcia. So it's
awesome.
great.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you had anything else to say about the real cosmetics specifically there, but obviously we wanted that box to match, right?
Yeah, we wanted the box to match. Another, we made other requests on the box, but at least we got it. We went with that ammo can green color.
Yep.
We're like, we gotta have it in that kind of tone to kind of go with the whole theme of the reel. And then but like you said before, when we started the project, we realized like this is going to be an opportunity for us to kind of give back to the veteran community. And it was one of those things that, we've always wanted to do projects like this. But I mean, since I started working here, we've had the foot on the throttle, just trying to get orders out the door for so long. And we finally were able to put some time to the side and start something like this. And we started it 3-4 years ago.
It's been a long time coming.
Wow.
I think the first concept was in 2020.
Yeah.
Glad to finally be here to market. And we do have some really cool promotions going along with it. And obviously the Heroes on the Water piece, which I want to get to.
Cool.
So Jake, you want to tell us about the shirt here?
So with every reel, you're going to get a free shirt with it. So we did this co-branded shirt with Abu Garcia. So we got the Tack Warehouse logo right there on the front, but then we also got Abu Garcia on the left sleeve, and then we have the Tack Warehouse, the backwards flying flag, on the right-hand sleeve, if I can get it over. But we'll B-roll that thing, get a better shot of it. But so you're gonna get a sweet reel in that tan color. That Tilly could wear that underneath your uniform.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that, man. You could take that, throw it on your uniform, and then just pop your top off.
Until you got to take blouses off, and you get in trouble for having that thing on. But if they
wearing
your collar,
wearing your Ranger panties anyway, I think that'd be a great look.
Yeah. You're gonna get the shirt with the reel, and then we also have a bunch of discounts for veterans, first responders. So discounts for veterans, first responders for the entire life of the reel. So, but it's a one-time run though. So like, if you're gonna want one, you want to jump on it.
Sure. Yeah. So specifically, that deal is 30% off every single day with your veterans discount, or we're extending this to first responders. So we have a list of approved first responders. You can either visit the Abu Garcia Zata Tact-Z page or contact our customer service to get hooked up with that discount. And then the last piece we really want to talk about here is probably the most important piece of the whole thing.
Yep.
And that's that a portion of proceeds from every single reel sold for the lifetime of this reel goes to benefit Heroes on the Water. And that's why we have Morgan here today, right? So Morgan, can you just tell us all about Heroes on the Water, the history, what they do, and take it away, please?
Absolutely. So Heroes on the Water has been around for just over 16 years, and in that time, they've served 64,000 veterans and their families. They're one of the fastest growing veteran organizations in the country, and they're volunteer led. I mean, this local chapter, it takes, if we're going out on the ocean, it's 1-to-1, right? So you need one guide with every veteran or family member that goes out. So it takes a lot of volunteer support, a lot of time, and they really they're just amazing at how they bring a community of people together. They have two different programs. They have their kayak fishing program, and then they have their therapeutic program as well. And I believe they have a handful of 10 therapeutic programs, and then 58 chapters across the nation. The Avila Beach chapter, it used to be the Central Coast chapter. They've since rebranded and moved up to Pismo, and they are knocking it out of the park. I mean, just the saying for Heroes on the Water is paddle, fish, heal, right? And that's really what we're doing is we're here to get veterans out and engaged in healthy outdoor activities, but also with that is the great side benefit of a little bit of healing. Many of us have a lot of work to do, and that from that aspect, and really that will never go away. So this is just a way for us to continually engage with members of our community that are like-minded, to like to get out there, get after it, and go catch some fish for dinner.
Sure. So we did. I hope we established that it's primarily a kayak fishing organization, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the paddle comes in. Jake and I actually were there for the launch of what was that, the August or September event, and can definitely attest to the Avila chapter being really tight, really organized, really fun, and then down to business when it comes to safety, right?
Oh, safety is paramount. I mean, we understand that a veteran who might only have been on a kayak once or twice, maybe out in the ocean on a kayak only once, we understand that there's some safety considerations there. So we always have a safety boat around the kayaks. I've been out on, I believe, 6 events as a guide now. I've not seen one scenario where I've seen anybody in any kind of situation where they might be harmed. It is I've been in the angling community for a long time, specifically, offshore angling out on the Pacific Ocean. And, a lot of boat fishermen, they can be, how do I put this? Not as open to teach and to share because they're trying to hide, their spots and stuff like that. I don't find that in the kayaking community. Everybody is so helpful. I mean, they'll give you the shirt off their back if that's what you need. And I really, really love and appreciate what Heroes on the Water and everybody that's dedicated to supporting them has done.
That's really cool. I as primarily a boater myself these days, I can attest to both the fact that I can be secretive, but there's also a lot of good guys out there.
There is,
But really cool organization. As you said, I think 58 chapters across the U.S. We're so lucky to have one right here near our home base of San Luis Obispo. And there's also, I think, 4 or 5 chapters within a couple hours of our Alpharetta, Georgia location.
Oh, yeah.
They're
very active in Georgia. Yeah.
So that's really cool. We're happy to support the national organization and all those chapters. It just seems like a great fit.
Yeah, it was a perfect fit for us. And watching you guys at the event, you guys run such a phenomenal event, and getting people out on the water to help out veterans. And we're extremely happy to help out an organization like you guys. I've been to several, veteran hunting and fishing type events, and it's anything to help vets out. It's always such a welcoming community when you get those people together. I mean, I've been in places where, we're camped out and guys just come walking up out of nowhere like, hey, what's going on? And before you know, we're all best buds in a couple hours. And I feel like it's hugely important for the veteran community. And if you can just get those people together, it does a lot of good.
Yeah, a lot of veterans self-isolate. And that's really what this is all about, is building that veteran community and letting these veterans know that, listen, you might be facing some tough times in your life, but there is a community here that loves you and wants to support you, right? So, it's much more than just, hey, we're going to get out on the water and we're going to go, wet a line, which is the end goal, but in there is a lot of healing and a lot of community building that goes on. And just in the time that I've been involved with Heroes on the Water, I mean, I've met dozens of veterans that I would have otherwise not met, and they're amazing guys and gals. And it's so cool to meet veterans in our community that I normally wouldn't meet, even as a county veteran services officer. A lot of our younger veterans are specifically our Gulf War era or even post 9/11 veterans. They're busy. They've got kids. They're trying to rebuild careers. They're trying to take care of life, and life with everybody is tough, but with veterans, it can be specifically tough. So, anyways, it's just really, it's amazing to have these events to see all these veterans and their families coming out.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for taking us through that. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. We're super happy about the project.
Yeah.
The way everything came out, the way it all tied together.
Beautiful.
Finding you guys to partner with and seeing all the great work you guys do. And we want to thank you guys for, all the work that goes into helping the veteran and first responder community.
Yeah, thanks. I do have to give a shout out to Mr. Andy Dibburn. If I didn't,
sure.
He's a chapter coordinator. He's behind the scenes, and he, I really appreciate that he extended this offer to me to come out and chat with you all. It's important for what I do as a county veteran services officer to get our veterans out and active. And he's a great dude, and I appreciate that you guys are working with him so much.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're certainly tied into the national organization, but Andy and the Avila Beach local chapter here, Andy's been awesome.
He's so great.
And Andy actually had a custom rod made. Did you see this?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm so jealous.
It's slick.
Andy had a custom rod made to match the cosmetics on this, and he's got a 50 cal shell.
On the butt cap.
Yeah, on the butt cap.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I asked him if he thinks he's going to take that out on the ocean, but
yeah,
it'll patina nicely.
He let us get some pictures of it. It's pretty rad.
It is, yeah.
Rad.
Yeah.
Rad. Twice.
That's in my vocabulary.
I think that wraps up everything we got for this thing. And if anyone wants to purchase one and help, support the Heroes on the Water community, just head on over to tackwarehouse.com.
Check it out. As Jake said, it's a limited time that we're going to have these. So when they're gone, they're gone. 30% off every day to veterans and first responders. Portion of proceeds of every single reel sold go to benefit Heroes on the Water. Morgan, thank you for telling us a little bit about your history. Mm-hmm. Thank you for your work with Heroes on the Water and coming to join us here. Thank you guys both for your service to this country. And yeah, thanks.
Beautiful. No, thank you.
A lot of thanks all around.
No, seriously, thanks to Tackle Warehouse for you guys doing this for our veterans in the community. It means more than you guys really truly realize. I mean, I know it feels good. This kind of work is, we were talking, this isn't necessarily might not be the most lucrative thing for Tackle Warehouse to do, to get a custom reel put together and then give the proceeds to but it's rocket fuel for the soul when you're doing this kind of work. And so it's greatly appreciated from our community. So thank you.
Zeta Tact Z, rocket fuel for the soul.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.